Hello everyone, thank you for checking out my YouTube channel. I am going to talk a little bit about some babyology. I'm a new father and for about a month and a half, and so I've been through a lot of baby bottles and a lot of baby talk, and so I'll walk you through it and kind of go through a lot of my trial and error, little mistakes, so it'd save you a lot of time because I spent a whole lot of time on this stuff. So let's get started. I'm talking about baby bottles, and I'll do another one on baby bottles in a second in another video. But basically, these are three highly scouted, highly rated baby bottles. And so we're going to take a look at the Philips Avent right here. Okay. And we'll have the Dr. Brown's. Okay. You'll see it in most Targets. And they're all roughly about the same price, anywhere from $10 to $15. And then you got Dr. Brown's right here, and then you got the Playtex Baby Vent Air. There's a lot of Playtex ones, but this one particularly was recommended to me. So let's take a look at Dr. Brown's. And Dr. Brown's is the whole thing about this, the whole gimmick with this is not, the nib is okay, and we're going to be looking at the three things when I assess the bottle: the nib, the flow control, and how it latches, and just the overall comfort of the bottle. So we got the Philips, we got the Dr. Brown's right here and the little vent system. So apparently when milk goes through here, it somehow goes and extract the bubbles there. The milk goes through, the bubbles go through this little blue tube right here, and it takes away the bubbles. I have noticed that the bubbles are, the air, he sucks less air with this bottle, so I think that's working out pretty well. So I like this part. The nib is okay. The flow control is okay. I use paste bottle feeding, so I kind of disturb the flow control anyways. It's generally not a good idea to just shove it in his mouth without pacing him. And you can look more on paste bottle feeding. I recommend that, and that's a lot better. And medically, that's good too. So we have this, and would I keep it? I like the fact that it's generally pretty good in terms of just a general overall bottle. We got the Playtex right here. The only thing, the nib's okay. The flow control is a little fast for me. The only thing I really like is actually this angle that kind of comes out. And you'll notice if you've ever fed a baby and you fed them all the way start to front, there's usually a little bit of remnants here. But this one, and we always kind of have to shake it out, like this Dr. Brown's, you gotta have to shake it out to make sure to get the very last drop. But the very last drop is always, because the way it's designed, is always gonna come out that way. So that's pretty much a nice feature. It's pretty comfortable, and it's a nice handle for the end user. But other than that, I wouldn't say it has anything special about it. It probably is the cheapest of all three of these metals. And next is the Philips Avent. There's not a lot of bells and whistles, but the main thing with this is the nib is probably the best one, and this encourages his mouth to open up the most. Something about this nib actually fits really well, so it kind of glides and eventually opens up his mouth. There's no other bottle right here that really does it. So I actually want to keep the Philips Avent because their whole thing is it's the most natural, and I have to agree with him. The most natural way to kind of open up his mouth, and what you want to do is mimic mom's breast, because if you encourage bad habits, he eventually stops eating from mom's breast, and eventually the breast milk stops flowing. So so what I would like, the ideal bottle would have the nib of this, the takeaway of air of the Dr. Brown's, and the angle of this. That would be the perfect bottle, but I can't because I'm not the manufacturer. So I choose probably the Advant just because it keeps his mouth open, and that's what I want to do because I'm noticing he's having bad habits. So I'll do some more videos. Please like, subscribe, or whatever, and tell me you liked or didn't like the video, and so I can make more according to your guys' liking. So thanks for watching, and till next time. Alright guys, well, here we have another video. This is Babyology with a couple more bottles that I wanted to review because I want to make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into, and I spent a lot of time researching, so I thought it'd save you a lot of time and share the wealth of information. My my wasted time is your gauge. So with that said, again, I'm a father of about a month, 7-week-old kid. So I've learned and saw you bit through all the fussy feedings and spit ups and all that, so I kind of have a better idea. Again, my baby is probably might act differently than yours, so I'm not saying this as a cookie cutter approach to all baby feeding. I use paste bottle feeding as well, so I recommend YouTubing paste bottle feeding because that seems like the most sufficient and most healthiest way to feed a baby. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to go over 3 more baby bottles. Please see my other video if you want to go over some more, see some more varieties. And what we have here is the Bear baby bottle. This is a Kids R Us exclusive. They don't sell it anywhere else, supposedly. Next, we have the Tommee Tippee, widely available, one of the most common, mostly highly scouted. Next, we have the Medela right here. And the Bear and the Medela are incredibly expensive. So what we're dealing with here is the Medela didn't even come with a bottle, but it came up with this little latch right here. So this is called the Medela. Medela has actually a couple different types of bottles, but I got specifically the Calma because this was recommended because of the baby's latch and the way the baby sucks the milk, so he doesn't form bad habits. And what we wanted to do is actually get him to work for it rather than just shove a bottle and let it just pour down his mouth, because that encourages bad habits and he doesn't want mom's breast anymore. So this was recommended, and it actually works pretty hard because he actually has to suck it. He has to suck it pretty hard. He has to work hard for it, and it mimics mom's breast. And their whole like interesting sort of technology right here. It's 3 pieces and he has to suck, and it's almost like a really hard to suck straw, but again, it encourages good habits because you're not just pouring. He's not just gulping it down, and he's mimicking mom's breast. This was actually about $18, $19 just for this piece. It didn't even come with a baby bottle. But on the other hand, I did have some spare Medelas. So this Medela right here actually was fits perfectly. What I do like about the brand Medela and their things is they actually have sort of this universal fit. I mean, this is not a Medela. This is a very Similac bottle, but it fits the Medela just fine. And I just have this little generic thing that I don't know where I got it, but it fits the Medela as well. So Medela seems to be the most universal if you're looking for just universality. So now every time I buy a Similac bottle, I have now a Medela bottle. Next, we have the Tommee Tippee, and this was highly scouted, highly rated, and nurse recommended it, but actually, I don't really like it that much. And the reason being is, yeah, it's a cute bottle, and the nib looks, and it has the wide mouth, which is good, but my baby just kept on sucking it in like this, and it was just like, and I had to pull it out, let the air kind of restore it, and it's so on. And this is not a good bottle. I don't know, maybe it's something wrong I'm doing, but this is not a great bottle for what my baby with a strong latch, a strong sucking power is. So I don't recommend it. It's highly recommended. A lot of kids like it. I don't. And it just the design is generally okay, but this thing's too flimsy. So next we have the Bear. The Bear is a pretty expensive bottle. I think it was pretty close to 20 or 25 bucks. So the whole thing about this is they're trying to say this is a perfect latch, and it's an air-free bottle, which means this is completely air-free, which means he won't be sucking any air. It's a really strong, airtight bottle. I got the breastfed, so he kind of sucks it in and then sucks it out and all that stuff. Now my baby didn't like this one, and he was crying, he was fussing, and maybe because the latch didn't come out long enough like all these others. This might, in theory, be the best, most natural bottle, but he didn't like it. He kept on spitting it out and spitting out a lot of the milk. So, unfortunately, the baby didn't like it, and I can't do anything about it. But this seems like the ideal solution, but he just didn't like it. So, there you have it. I would probably stay with the Calma because he's working hard for it. But I like the air tightness, so because there's no more air. that comes in here. It's an airtight bottle, which I think it's rare to have a complete airtight bottle. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention, it's airtight because you essentially push this in, and eventually all that is just the edge of the milk. And because there's definitely no air after that. So you're pushing it way in here, and until there absolutely has no more bubbles. So I like that technology. The baby just didn't like the nib, so I don't know what to do with that. So I like that, and overall, I'd give the Medela the one I'd probably keep. And Tommee Tippee, I'm not sure. So it might work for some, but it didn't work for mine. All right, so if you like, please comment. And please let me know if you want more videos. I'm going to walk you through what I learned, so therefore you don't have to worry about other things. But I need you to let me know what you need to know, basically. All right, thanks.